So a few storylines from today's games. Well, first let's just get out some of the most important news regarding some of these teams. Devin Booker, hamstring injury, hamstring tightness I believe. They say he's likely to miss a game or two. I'm going to go to missing 2 games. Now the Suns should be able to split those games. It's going to be a lot more difficult without having one of their best scorer on the team, their best player. But the Suns should be deep enough to be able to beat the Pelicans without Devin Booker, at least for 1 game, I believe. Another major injury would be Chris Middleton with the left MCL sprain. They're not entirely sure how many games he's going to miss. If you're asking me, it's likely he missed the rest of the series, but minimum 2 games. I think it's at least 2 games. You got time spread out. I mean, MCL sprains aren't that bad overall, but it's just a timing in a playoff series. Just like when it comes to Luka's calf strain or Devin Booker's hamstring tightness. These injuries aren't major injuries. You're not worried about significant long-term damage. Being that you got to win 4 games in a 7-game series, and while the games are spread out a bit, you're still playing a lot more games. We're not playing a lot more games. We're playing more intense games. Yeah, big concerning for the Mavs, the Bucks, and the Suns. I think the Suns should be fine the most out of it because they do have the deeper team. Chris Middleton, going down is a huge hit. Same with Luka in the Dallas Jazz series. We already knew he was going to be playing to start. Yeah, man, injuries are awful. You hate to see any of these players get injured. It's just weird, if you ask me, how some other players are getting a lot more sympathy for their injuries, but not one guy that plays in LA. Well, I'm not going to complain about it too much. Lakers suck anyway, not in the playoffs. But injury is part of the game. You just need your team to hopefully come through it. They survive enough games without that player, maybe win a game here or there, and that player's able to come back later in the series or in the next series if they advance. Well, I don't want to hear about fan base complaining about injuries because last year with the Lakers. Don't really care to hear it. But let's talk about some of the main key points of today's game. The Boston Celtics played a phenomenal defense on Kevin Durant and Kyrie. They shot a combined 8 for 30. KD didn't hit a single field goal in the second half. He was 0 for 10. Again, they got to the line, but 0 for 10 in the second half. And they was really causing a lot of turnovers when it came to KD specifically. They was really playing him well. They really studied all his tendencies, and they had a great game plan. I thought they would. Well, I thought Kevin Durant specifically would bounce back from the rough game 1 because he wasn't the most efficient in that game. It was a lot better than what he was tonight because he wasn't good tonight. I know he had, I think, 25 points, but took a lot of shots to get there. Got to the free throw line a lot. Turned the ball over a lot. Kyrie, you knew he was going to cool down after that phenomenal game 1. No, so that's not surprising at all. But yeah, KD just not look good in that game. He did not look good at all. It was bothering him. It would have forced a lot of turnovers. And even though the Brooklyn Nets were up, 10 at the halftime, you gotta really contribute that to Gordon Dragic and Bruce Brown playing great basketball. They both had at least 15 points. I believe it's 18 for Bruce Brown, around 17 for Gordon Dragic. So they both played great basketball, even though Kyrie and Kevin Durant wasn't playing their best games. Neither was Jason Tatum either. But they was able to lock in on defense, hit those big shots they needed to, which results in them being up 2-0. And honestly, they just gotta hope for a split in Brooklyn and then come back and close the series out in Boston again. But they can honestly go for a sweep. It's in the realm of possibility. We could talk about the Raptors. That prediction's looking pretty good right now. Joel Embiid hit a game winner. He didn't go to the line that much tonight because the bitching about his fouls didn't matter though. James Harden even fouled out of this game. But Joel Embiid showed why he was MVP tonight. I'm going to go on a tangent about the MVP real quick. Because again, I don't have a problem with Jokic winning it. But the thing is, what they need to do when it comes to these regular season awards, they need to give them in the regular season, because the majority of fans, or your casual fans online, they're still thinking the MVP voting is going on because they haven't announced the winner yet, right? But based off the trends of the votes that we saw in these last reports and leaks, Nikola is comfortably ahead of Joel. I believe at least 24 more first place votes. But now we're going to have him getting swept, and it isn't surprising me at all because that Denver Nuggets team outside of Jokic just isn't that good, especially in a playoff atmosphere. They're just not that good. but it just doesn't look good for the award. You're gonna have a bunch of media analysts saying that, you know, Jokic isn't a good MVP. I think you gotta give out these awards in the regular season so people's, you know, perceptions aren't warped when the playoffs come around and some guys just don't play as well as you expect them to. Like, honestly, that's what they need to do. They should give out these awards at the end of the regular season, but they decided to do it, you know, later on in the playoffs, like at least after round 1. It's very likely Nikola gets swept and Joel sweeps the Raptors and he's not going to be the MVP. But that's going to look bad for those media voters. Well, it's not going to look bad for media voters. It's going to look bad for the NBA for deciding to, you know, give out this award, you know, later on in the postseason. Or, you know, just around into the postseason. And the MVP, the supposed best player in the league, isn't playing anymore because he got swept. It just doesn't look good. It's not a good look. I wish they would give it out at the last home game for these teams since they already have these awards out. Or all the votes solidified anyway by that last home game. But NBA wants to keep doing it this way. They can keep doing it this way. Like, it's not surprising. Nikola got swept last year. Now Westbrook did not look good in the first round when he won it in 2017. So if they want to keep doing this, they can keep doing it. But if it was me, I would just give it to them at the end of the regular season. You know, not have us in the playoffs, and, you know, the MVP doesn't look as good because they're about to get swept. That's just me though. What else can we talk about when it comes to these games? Yes, the Bulls won. Something I did not account for at all in my predictions. I definitely had them getting swept. But the Bulls, they played a really good game today. And, you know, they was out there earlier. They was playing good defense, and the Bulls even managed to get, you know, a decent lead. I believe around 13 points. The Bucks made it close when it came to, you know, the end of the third quarter, but then they blitzed them in the fourth, and they got on to 11-0 run. The Bucks still stayed in the game because the game was competitive through and through, and it got to be a 3-point game last possession. But DeMar DeRozan was big in the fourth quarter, hitting, you know, clutch shots. Caruso played some really good defense tonight on, you know, just on Giannis for a few plays. Like, I know Giannis almost had a 30-point triple-double, but he's able to get those key stops on Giannis in the game down the stretch. Nikola Vucevic, 24 and 13. Again, DeMar DeRozan was big. He had 41 points. I didn't mention that. Zach LaVine chipped in with 20 points as well. Like, they look good. They look good out there tonight. I am very surprised that the Bulls won a game. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not see them winning a game. Chris Middleton being injured is going to be a big deal, but I still think they should be enough to beat the Bulls. Instead of the game, well, not the series. Instead of the series being a 4-game series, it's going to be a 6-game series with Middleton being injured. But Giannis should be enough to beat the Bulls. Like I said, he's the best player in the league. He's gonna show everyone he's the best player in the league now. You know, without some of his help, and be able, you know, take down the Bulls in this series. Because I believe they take down the Bulls in the series. Middleton should be back for the second round series. Minnesota, Memphis, Dallas, Utah, Denver, and Golden State, they all play tomorrow. Comes in my quick picks for that game. I got Memphis winning this game, of course. I had them win the series in 5. Gotta stay with that prediction. Utah should beat Dallas at home. No Lucas still. Denver is going to try to avoid getting swept, but they're getting swept tomorrow, even though they're at home court. So those are my 3 picks for tomorrow's game. I'm looking forward to them. I said that the Memphis Grizzlies and Minnesota Timberwolves game wouldn't be a blowout in my last video, and that game was a blowout. So hopefully we get a bunch of close games tomorrow. I mean, they got the Nuggets as 2-point underdogs. Yeah, that's way too low. They are definitely not 2-point underdogs, more like 12. But that's all I got. Looking forward to tomorrow's slate of games. I'll probably be more detailed in the games tomorrow. I've been a lot more rambly in these last couple of videos, but that Joel Embiid buzzer beater was spectacular, and the playoffs spectacular. Out the way, y'all stay safe, and I'm out.